Oxford, Mississippi. A big win for the football team over Oklahoma yesterday. And today, inside the pavilion, Ole Miss, Illinois. Not your average exhibition matchup. The Rebels taking on the Illini. Two coaches with a lot of respect for each other, and two teams that have high expectations this basketball season. Pedulla brings it up the floor. One of the new additions for Ole Miss. Almost a turnover on the opening possession. Pedulla not gun shy on the three and sinks the first jumper of the season. You see the starting five for Illinois. They lost 4 starters from that group a year ago that made the Elite Eight. Number 32 with the basketball. Remember the name. He's a freshman. Yakuchonis, one of the most highly touted European players coming out, just 18 years of age. Pass inside. That's Ivisic. Turnaround jumper is good. At the was with Kentucky last year, now with Arkansas. As you look at the starting five for Ole Miss, Matthew Murrell, one of the all-time leading scorers in Ole Miss history. Sean Pedulla, as we mentioned, will be a factor, and so will that guy.
He wired last night at practice, wasn't he?
Got me wired, too. Everybody's got their game face on today, and the shooting continues to sizzle, and they want us. And the former Vanderbilt Commodore.
It's almost like Ole Miss is trying to play the way that Illinois played a year ago.
And then a foul, an ill-advised foul on Dre Davis, 18 years of age. And sometimes it's hard levels of international basketball. They expect not a typical 18-year-old 4-point game. Early fireworks here. We haven't even played 2 minutes. Murrell on a cut. A pull-up jumper is good. Matthew Murrell has always been one of
now Ole Miss getting what they want offensively. Illinois is not really a take the ball away from you kind of defense. They didn't force a lot of turnovers last year.
KJ, little Euro step and then off the glass. That's a pro move. Little fade and fire, and that bucket rattles in from Dia. He's out for Illinois.
But if you didn't know better, you would swear that that possession was Illinois a year ago.
3-on-1, and it's an alley-oop. Pedulla to Brakefield. 15 early points for the Rebels.
What did Brad Underwood tell us last night? He picked Ole Miss because they were old, and he wanted his team to go through some adversity. Well, here's some early adversity.
He certainly has it. 7'1" freshman who has all kinds of skills for a big man.
And an older freshman at 21 years old.
Straight on three, rattled home by Malik Dia. This is unreal. 8. KJ wings it out to Ivisic. Now down low, little bully ball. Ole Miss swarming defense, a triple team. Forces the white turnover, another alley-oop to Brakefield, who thunders it home.
But that's a good sign for Ole Miss. If the guards are going to rebound, that will make them a better rebounding team.
Air ball by Pedulla. Now Illinois on the push all the way, and contact drawn by Kerry Booth. He'll go to the line. There are two things, and I think during his coaching career, and you mentioned the overall, that it's not the biggest team, Mark. Their guards need to rebound better.
Correct. One of the things that Illinois has done a marvelous job with under Brad Underwood is getting the perimeter players to be active rebounders. And one of the things on that checklist was different combinations. Illinois has gone to a much smaller lineup, experimenting. I think if the game ends up close down at the end, both coaches will care about winning. But I think Brad Underwood and Chris Beard, in talking to them both last night, are more concerned about other things today. Mismatch.
Mouse in the house, and there to take advantage is Brown Jones for college basketball. However, the points of emphasis, we had a chance to catch up with this veteran crew. It's the same as it always seems to be. Try to clean up that physical play as Murrell knocks down another deuce.
From that standpoint, it was a success, but I didn't like the way it ended.
That's going to be a foul. Murrell got bumped. You got to let him land the jump shoot.
We talked to Chris Beard about what does he need to do better. And
the way the question was formulated, when the NBA analyzed his overall athleticism, with that you have to say the rebounding and defense not only can be better, it should be better based on that.
I don't think he's going to have any problem transitioning from the deepness of the three-point arc. Well, there's a good finish inside by Ivisic. Those things that show up at the next level. Can you rebound your position? Can you guard your position?
The other word that always seems to come up with Matthew Murrell, and Coach Beard reiterated it last night at practice, he's got to be consistent. Nice move and a beautiful they believe will give them some of that much-needed toughness that a Coach Beard team normally is full of.
When I was watching highlights from Davis from Seton Hall last year, I was surprised at how many times he started a drive 20 feet out and was still able to finish just like that last possession.
That's a great take by Davis.
Such a smart pass, though, by Ivisic to read the floor. Pretty unique skill for a guy that size. That's a great throwback.
A wide open three. Dia rips the nets for 3 more. Turnover, 2-on-1. Dia takes it strong and will draw the foul. Get too much action there. He was not ready. Former 4-star recruit.
Like guys backing off the free throw line.
3 ball from the corner is true. That's Gibbs Lawhorned up. Illinois does not mind running. Almost a turnover. Back up top to Boswell, takes it strong and gets it to go. Banging bodies midair and again with the quick hands. Shot clock under 10, now down to 5. Deep 3 is buried. Jalen Murray. Riley has a chance to be an absolute star. Brakefield, he can hit that,
yes,
and
he
he
can.
does. He did it all last season. He's a big guy that is more than good. Well, 9th would probably get you in the NCAA tournament in a stacked SEC.
Well, you might be 9th in the league, and you probably are 30th in the country. So to your point, yes, there's going to be maybe a record.
Not have the SEC as the deepest league in all of college basketball. You and I have had a front court seat to watch that transformation over the last decade or so.
Isolation.
Little paint touch. Finger roll does not go down for Brown Jones. Illinois trying to find a flow on offense. Inside. Jump hook shot is good. That's a young man who's a transfer from Evansville. Before that, he played NAIA, averaged 15 points a game last year for the Purple Aces. Good take and a better finish by Brakefield.
See the ball pressure by Ole Miss.
Morrell got a little too aggressive right on the shot by Riley. Soft, sagging defense. He'll live with it. Surprised if you see this type of exhibition played again. You asked a great question. Kind of somebody that's meant a lot in his past.
Yeah, his unsung champion, if you will. And Chris Beard talked about his first AD at Fort Scott, Kevin Gundy, and then the AD at Little Rock, Chase Conk, because they gave him the opportunities, the chances. Now he's taking advantage.
Lee was a McDonald's All-American, and Ole Miss won the services of Mr. Bowl.
Illinois has none of that.
Yeah.
0.
It's one thing to be veterans and older, but it's another thing to actually have cohesion and chemistry. Of course, that's always a difference maker. Yakuchonis has had a quiet first half, the 18-year-old superstar out of Lithuania. Nice passing inside and a foul drawn on the pump fake. That's Merez.
I think Ole Miss's defense has completely choked up rated unless you include turnovers. Illinois right now is upside down at 5-8, but Ole Miss 11-2.
I know somewhere our own Dane Bradshaw is listening. And Dane was the king of assist to turnover ratio at Tennessee. He was not the great shooter as some people believe. That's all fiction, but he was a great assist to turnover man. Speaking of turnovers, Illinois turns it over again, and a nifty move at the rim.
To North Carolina in the finals, of course, that team led by Bruce Weber, but they had, Luther Head, D. Brown, Deron Williams. I mean,
a loaded squad. I mentioned the 5 Final Fours. This is a program in Illinois with such great tradition. There's a steal, and that's going to be an easy deuce on the other end for Gibbs Lawhorn. Rebels. Step back three is blocked. Boy, the defense now is stifling for Illinois. Stop and go dribble and a foul drawn on Morrell.
I know, I just said nice call. The season hasn't.
Empty trip, but an offensive rebound. Ivisic, step in three, got it. Nothing but net by UConn. It's a big part of their recruiting in Illinois. They do it as well as anybody.
I think this run has been fueled by Illinois playing better defense.
Step in move, Brakefield left it short, got it back, pinned by Ivisic. Those long, 7'1", and that time he fell for the pump fake and drew the foul on the call of that one. But what this does,
right? I ditto.
Court-appointed special advocates of North Mississippi, helping the interests of abused and neglected children. Great cause, great event, and great action so far in this first half. 51 on the board already for Ole Miss. Illinois starting to.
They got Ivisic to the free throw line.
So, viral. He was hitting threes, he was blocking shots, throwing no-look pass. He comes out to Padula, gets a ball screen. Padula on the drive, takes it right at the 7-footer. Ivisic, rim protection has been outstanding in this first half.
Last shot opportunity.
KJ up top will bleed some clock.
Gonna let Yaka Jonas go on his own. Mismatch size-wise.
Here comes the screen. Tosses in a sloppy pass. Desperation heave, and that's how the half will come to a close. That last play did not make Brad Underwood very happy.
Thanks,
Appreciate
good luck.
the time.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Start of the second half here at Oxford. Can't thank both coaches enough for taking out some time.
I think Coach would have talked to us the entire second
he was
half.
ready.
I
I think he's
we're
after
just talking ball over here.
I think he's after your job, Mark Wise. I mean, if he could coach and be an analyst at the same time, what a hybrid role that would be. Let's see how his Illini respond. As he mentioned, played much better in the final 12 minutes of the second half. That won't help. A crossover turnover by the 18-year-old freshman Lithuanian, and then an easy bucket on the other end at Virginia Tech. That was a very valuable pickup in the portal. Yakachunis gets his own miss and sticks it back.
Defense okay. You cannot allow the second chance opportunity, which was one of the huge problems for Ole Miss a year ago.
Davis launches a three. It hits. Davis, the transfer from Seton Hall.
Oh, what a play by Brakefield.
And a turnover on
Saved it.
Boswell. Padula.
Oh,
Great move, and then a block, but a foul called. What he's going to be able to give you. A 6'8" senior now, former Duke Blue Devil, 97 career games played. He's outside.
And Mike, he's been super consistent in his career at Ole Miss.
Finds a guard up the court to Padula. Padula, who has 8 siblings. And a friendly bounce for Dre Davis.
By Ole Miss on the defensive end.
Up top, 3 ball, got it! Rattled home by Brown Jones. Three ball buried by Gibbs Lawthorne.
As we try to hide behind him. There we are.
We have an unbelievable.
I look as good as I've ever looked on air.
You have. If we could just put a amount of money, $825,000. So many good things to come out of these games, and you talk to the coaches involved in them.
Yeah, nobody loses.
Nobody
you take
loses.
a look at the 2 old JUCO coaches from the state of Kansas. Good friends, and they talked about each other last night when we mentioned them.
Triple. They
Right.
had to work those kind of job floor and lock up the gym
Correct.
at night.
Chris Beard has been where Brad Underwood has been in terms of postseason success.
Right.
But Ole Miss has not. Chris Beard is trying to take Ole Miss into the postseason the way Brad Underwood now has Illinois active
100%.
with their hands and arms in the passing lane is really disrupted Illinois. Illinois already today with 16 giveaways.
6 in this half. There's Riley, and they hope to see a lot of that. The talented freshman.
Big on big pick and roll. He actually had Dia open on the pop.
Boswell with a crossover. Kick out Riley again. Riley with another.
See, I think Riley needs to have a back-to-back hoops for the young fellow.
You were talking about some of the things that Coach Beard was preaching yesterday in practice. One of them was no one-pass three-pointers. Well, you just saw one given up. And then Dia on the response. What a game so far for Dia. He's got a game-high 18. Another three. It's raining threes for the Illini.
Last time I checked, 3 is more than 2. Illinois will make that trade. This group on the floor for Illinois has found a little punch in their game.
Brakefield, just a little bully ball right there, took it.
5 out in this game. Wait till you watch Kentucky play, because they are going to let it fly.
It's going to be an exciting brand of basketball. Not going to be as many McDonald's All-Americans, but boy, are they going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. It really is. And you're talking about a guy who was second in the league in scoring at UNC Greensboro. Almost a walk. Bodies everywhere, and Ole Miss cleans it up. Numbers the other way. Morrell on the finish.
Illinois is.
Yeah, these games for so many of these Illinois freshmen, they're confidence builders as much as anything. He certainly doesn't lack confidence, but he could use a little more results in this game. White, fade and fire. Got it. Nakachonis. Over to Boswell, working on Murray. Boswell bullies his way in, and that time Murray got called for a foul on the. Boswell last year was at. Last year was something that you knew was going to be addressed by Coach Beard and company, and so far today they have been stifling. Another rebound for Dre Davis. He's played well. In transition, hope in the harm, count the basket. That'll be Davon Barnes with a.
We won that game.
We won that game. But you're with us now. Brakefield, a little one-on-one action. Yakachonis trying to shake him. Oh, drops off a beautiful dime. And an and one for Morrell. Johnson, Illinois Mr. Basketball, the Gatorade Player of the Year. And he is in midseason form. Another slam for Morez Johnson.
Presence for a freshman. Going to be a good finisher in the Big Ten.
Padula, beautiful feed, stopped on a dime and set up Malik Diaz. Gibbs Lawhorn brings it back up the court. Driving on Davis. And the long arms of Dia forces the turnover. Morrell ahead of the pack, lays it in.
Easy points are hard to come by in college basketball. They usually come from the turnovers. Let's go back to the checklist that I talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. Execution, that's a big plus. When the lights are on, when you're tired.
Right.
And you, yeah.
Will be games that you know you could not play your A or B game, and games
no,
you do get winded in a game like this.
That's correct.
Off the curl.
Yes,
and a
sir.
three. They really like what
physicality has really bothered Yakachonis.
Murray to Bowles. 7-footer on 7-footer. Gets it over Ivasic.
Against Tennessee, so a real SEC flavor for the Illini in their non-conference schedule.
Can't get enough of those type of games. Excited for the SEC ACC matchup. There's an open three hit by Ivasic, just like his brother.
After the game, let's get organized here. Here's the 5 out, even with Bowl on the floor.
Klafke. I beg your pardon. is not Plafke. That is Zach Day, the first time we've seen the 6'5 freshman.
Well, you know what I love about that?
Oh, yes. If you're in, go ahead and gun it. That's what Trey White just did. It's that kind of selfishness that makes you the person that you are, Mark Wise, in every facet of life.
Guilty.
Oh, wow. A rare three fired up by Benson, former South Carolina Gamecock. Ivisic.
Yeah, Bohl's going to learn. Cannot get lost.
You know, I mentioned how much the scouts love Yakachonis and Riley. They're certainly, Ivisic is certainly on their radar as well. Both brothers, the other one, of course, now following Cal to Arkansas. There's a little teardrop for Bohl, and little places that he's been throughout his career.
And when you couple that with the unselfish and smart play, 18 assists, 9 turnovers.
All the backups in here now. Couple of air balls fired up. There's Kutcher on a three. Tapped around, followed up, and Trey White gets it to crawl over the front rim.
Oh, here you get your shot up.
That's Cam Brent, all 5'4" of them. Who does not want to see Cam Brent get a bucket right here? Somebody set a screen for that man. Benson, Brent's open. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Bohl takes it himself, an air ball. Well, Brent might have to wait another day as the final seconds tick down. Everybody's launching. Benson on the rebound, out of bounds with 2.5 to go. The SEC, they've got a football win yesterday. They're going to grab a basketball win here today. What a weekend in Oxford for the Rebels. Hotty toddy on the gridiron. Hotty toddy on the hardwood. 91-74 your final. The Rebels defeat the Illini. What a performance top to bottom.
I know we kept score today and we showed the score, but there are absolutely no losers today. Both